Hey guys, and welcome to another Factorio Reddit Weekly. I'm Xterminator, and thank you for joining me. We're looking over the last top posts of the last week as normal, and there's some pretty good ones this time. Some really kind of more than just like random base pictures. There's some funny ones. There is one or two really cool fan creation things that is super awesome. So let's hop right into it here. 3 days ago, a buddy of mine is on holiday in the Cayman Islands. Someone save him. It's a screenshot. This person has been playing for 18 hours. And if we look here, the person who this guy's referring to is right here. By the way, I'm not 18 hours now. I'm at 23. And he confirms that this is his friend. Oh my god, dude. Playing for 23 hours straight. Now, of course, that could be some AFK and getting food, going to the bathroom, or whatever, but dang. Especially on vacation, too. This thing is super cool. I made a massive StarShaped train intersection with 4.48 gigawatt nuclear reactor inside. So, we've seen those train track blueprints and stuff that has solar. Well, it's kind of the same thing, except with nuclear, and absolutely gigantic. I mean, this thing is like a monstrosity. This is huge. And it has all these different entrances here. This would be 8? And if we take a look here, made a Hadron Collider is what you did. So there's a video if you want to check that out. I won't watch it. Now I know there could be more trains in the system, but I made a casual traffic example for this video. Okay, so they've they even did they smart signal stuff in here? I think that, yeah, they did. They wired all these signals. Wow, that's really cool. Wow, this is ridiculous. Oh my god. This is crazy. I can't even imagine how long it took to build this. I'm not sure how efficient this would actually be for mass throughput. Things like this usually don't work very great for a ton of throughput, but it might. I don't know, especially since he did some custom signaling. It certainly could. This one. Effing iron stick. How have I only just noticed that they're called sticks and not rods? Yes, so for anyone who didn't notice, these are called iron sticks, not iron rods or poles or whatever. And people are clearly unhappy, and it's kind of silly. There is a comment here. It's pretty much just a bad translation from Czech to English is why it ended up like this, and it was never changed. They come from iron tree. Do you think iron grows on trees around here? Okay, so here it is. I'm fairly sure that this discussion was here on Reddit before, and even a dev responded to it. Basically, it is a bad translation from Czech to English that stayed in the game. There are several other not so elegant translations. Another iffy translation is used up nuclear fuel cells, which a native speaker would call spent fuel cells, and also refined concrete, which a native speaker would call either reinforced or rebar concrete. Yeah, so they're Czech. Obviously there's some kind of mistranslations here and there, but it's not that big of a deal. Did you also notice that the pickaxe needs 2 sticks and 3 ingots, just like in Minecraft? Factorio was inspired quite a bit by Minecraft, so I'm just seeing anything else interesting here. Why isn't the default pickaxe made with wood as well? I mean, the handle is wood. That is true. It is a little kind of weird to look at because it has a wooden handle, but it's not made with wood. Okay, so there's that. Pretty funny. Just realized one thing that Factorio is missing, and I've looked at this already. I've mentioned this many times before that this would add a ton to the game. Rivers and streams. They add a lot to the natural feeling of the landscape, remembering how the devs were working on the feel of the landscape. So, sometimes you can kind of get, rivers, but they're not actually rivers. They're just, the water just happened to form, a lake that looked like a river. Well, because the thing with Factorio is there's no the water doesn't actually move. There's no water movement, right? So, I mean, a river, you can make a river shape. It wouldn't actually move though. Which, I mean, even a river shape and stuff would be kind of interesting, but all the water is it just stands still. There's no actual like dynamic to it. Creating dams would be awesome. Hydropower. Oh, dude, hydropower would be so cool in Factorio. That would be so awesome, actually. But yeah, so it maybe has some sort of liquid waste or something to turn pollution into liquid waste to dump into rivers. Yet another way to F up the environment. Oh, man. Weren't they floating screenshots of ruined X bases at one point? Maybe. I think they were showing screenshots of MapGen that kind of looked like it had rivers, but I'm guessing they like abandoned that potentially. Bridges, cutscenes, loading times, a clock. No, seriously, I was supposed to go to bed yesterday. What is bridge? Yes. Factorio's missing bridges. Main reason they don't exist is biters can't cross water, so it would be nice cheese to stop them. Same thing with why we cannot unfill land, pretty much. Is that biters can't cross water. Now, of course, I would imagine that dynamic could be changed pretty easily because there is a mod called Canal Builder, which I use in my Tightening the Belt playthrough, which pretty much just creates water that can still be pumped from, but you and biters can cross it, but it slows your movement. So if a mod can do it, I would imagine the base game could do it. I would sure hope so. And stuff. And the water that the canal mod does, I mean, is different than the other water. Like, you still can't cross lakes. But if the devs wanted to, which I don't think they're going to, but if they wanted to, I'm sure that they could make it so that, like, rivers or streams could be crossed by biters and you, potentially. And then, like, actual lakes couldn't. So, I don't know. I mean, it would add a ton. I mean, they are talking in the last Friday Facts, they did mention map generation. My guess is that's probably more related to, like, resources and stuff like that rather than actually making the map interesting. So, yeah, rail bridges would be pretty awesome. But there we go. So there's that. So this is really cool. The Stoboscopic Effect in Factorio. So basically, for those of you who don't know, and they explain it here. So for those of you who don't know, this is like when things are going like in a certain way, it can make them. There was I thought there was a comment. I guess it's like, I mean, we'll watch this. I'm going to mute it, but we'll watch it. Yeah, so pretty much this is like, I think when things are like moving fast enough or whatever, or at a certain speed, that it can actually make things look like they're going backwards, which they show in Factorio, which is pretty cool. Where they show these rockets and they're going across, and because of the speed at which the screen's moving, the rockets actually look like they're going back into the silo, which is pretty fascinating. Wow. Dude, that's crazy. And well, I think it's because they're like launching at different times too. This is the person who did the speed test thing with like jump between silos. They've done some really cool stuff. I don't know how many people know this, but Factorio's world is called Navis, or Navis, I'm not sure how you actually pronounce it. The only place it's mentioned is in the code. Yeah, so if you didn't know this, that's what it's called. The planet we are on actually does have a name, and this is, I think, from an article that was written when they did their LAN event, like last week or whatever. It could be worth reading, although I think it's in Czech, so you may have to translate it or something. Symmetrical cooperative for symmetrical fuel cell production. Hey, that's pretty cool, actually. Wow, this is actually really clean. I really like this. It looks like it doesn't even require smarts either. It's just using the, now that these filter splitters are in the game, you don't really need smarts for your cooperative stuff, which is really nice. Wow. This might actually be something I use in the future. This thing is really cool. Dang. I wonder if there's a blueprint. I don't see one, but it would be pretty easy to just copy yourself. That thing's really cool. Friday Facts, and here we go. So here is, this thing is so cool. 3D train sketch in like voxel. Oh my goodness, this is so awesome. I don't know why this isn't upvoted even more highly. Yeah, this kind of gives you an idea of like what Factorio could be like if it had elevation, or what Satisfactory may be like. You know, you can have a train going through a mountain, one going over it. This is so awesome. I don't know what you actually use to do this, like what kind of software or whatever. 3D voxel Factorio would be awesome. That would actually be really cool. Wow, this thing is so awesome. Oh my goodness. I love these creations like this. This looks like a pump potentially, and an underground pipe here, the rail signals, these power poles. Oh, this is like another one with the pipe actually going up on top of the hill, which is really cool. Man, I love it. This is so awesome. There's something very satisfying about this. Oh, I did skip one. I skipped two, I think. Yes. Watching these sorters and balancers work is definitely satisfying. You just can't wait for that one miner to get the hell out of the... I know this feeling all too well. I think a lot of us do. Pretty much. You just beacon the heck out of it and speed modulate it. Like, it's so annoying when there's that like one or two little patches of iron that's left there that you want to like build near something, and you just can't bear to build over it. Surprising how quickly you can actually get a miner to mine something out when you beacon it like that. This game is always teaching me quick and easy is a bad idea. I need to spot my inventory so I could grab some fuel cells to go throw it in the reactor. I hadn't gotten around to automating it yet because I had just gotten nuclear up and running a little bit ago, and it lasts a while. So what did I decide to throw in the chest? The remote artillery strike. I launched a strike right on top of me, blew up my fuel cells in 40 turned 35. This totally sounds like something I'd do. Not the kind of lesson I was expecting to read about, but whatever works. I mean, this is a good lesson. Is be careful what you're doing. Same with be careful what weapon slot you have equipped. Placeable items, bots, grenades, fish, artillery strike should really not activate when clicking to open something. That is true. Like, while they're doing 17 and taking their sweet time with it and adding all these quality of life stuff, they really should make like little changes like this. It's kind of silly that things like this can trigger when you like try to open an inventory with it in your hand. Yeah, pretty much this. It should always open that thing rather than place or drop whatever the thing currently held by your cursor is. Yeah, that'd be really nice. I love tanks. I love tanks too. It's got my first tank, and after so many hours of building and rebuilding well over 100 turrets and fending off countless attacks, I got my sweet catharsis by rolling over all 27 biter nests in the area with explosive shells, bullets, and fire. Most fun I've had in a single moment playing this game. Unless they're in your base and run over a roadport, yes. I love it because it really feels like a tank. After hours of carefully driving around, teasing your car and being scared of biters, get in that tank and laugh as you mow down forests and bugs alike. This is true. It is a very satisfying feeling to roll through forests and just smash through biters and biter bases. It's actually surprisingly effective to just ram into the spawners. It does quite a bit of damage to your tank, but I mean, it one-shots them if you're going fast enough. Higher level evolutions, tanks end up feeling like a liability. That is true. I mean, after a while, once you get behemoths for sure, tanks are pretty much useless in my opinion. Unless you're riding in them with this power armor, like full person laser defenses, then it can be pretty good. Even once you get big biters, unless you have like uranium ammo and quite a few ammo upgrades, I find it pretty useless at that point. But like for mid game, it is definitely the go-to thing. It took me months, but I finally managed to launch a rocket. 121 hours. It's actually a decent sized base. I think it's cool that some people take their time launching their first rocket. You know, where some people just try to get it as quickly as they can for the first time. There's certainly something to be said for that, but I do think it's cool, you know, even if you haven't launched a rocket before, if you just kind of take your time getting there, I think it's awesome. Why doesn't launching a rocket give you map visibility bonus? This should totally be a thing. I agree. There's a mod. I think it's called, I don't remember what it's called, but there was a mod. It was like, I want to say like orbital radar or like something like that, where you, like for every satellite you launched into space, it did actually give you like a faster scan bonus or something for scanning the map. It was pretty cool. And I think this should probably, I mean, this should be a thing. I mean, it would increase your file size, that is true, but purchased yesterday. Could oil be any further away for a newbie research? All red green science need oil to advance. Plan A, explore nearby and create a new base there. Plan B, start a new game. The knowledge I have learned. Holy crap. So, yeah, guys, here's a 016 map gen for you. Pretty typical. Some of the worst resource spawning we've had in Factorio history in 016. This is, I mean, this is absurd, dude. Like, come on. They didn't even get oil in the starting area. And not only that, it's super far away. I mean, this is not, I wouldn't even consider this pipeable. And for a new player, doing trains for this, I think would be pretty confusing. Today it happened. 1,000 hours. I think it'd be surprising how many people actually have 1,000+ hours in this game. When I clicked, there was already 1,036 on the clock. Definition of playing Factorio. I'm actually impressed that you still enjoy that game enough to play it. I wish I had a game like that. Yep. Also, I was actually interested in reading the comments of this post. Go for plan A. Yeah, I mean, there's some more they could explore for sure. It would probably be a bit more interesting to do that. Alright, my daily cycle of Factorio. Every day I play Factorio, I have plans to complete one specific task. Today, I need more copper ore, so I plan to expand, but then I realized a dedicated artillery train would help immensely, so I began work on a 10-shell-a-second artillery factory, but then, I can see where this is going. But then I saw the plastic train, it was taking longer than usual because I was producing pitiful amounts of petroleum, so then it took an hour to set up an entirely new oil petroleum refinery, perfect ratios, and when I was done with that, I was now too tired to do the task I had originally started to do, and that is my daily Factorio experience. I mean, that's pretty much a very good summary of Factorio, is you never actually complete the task you originally set out to complete until a very, very long time later, after you've done a ton of other unrelated things, or vaguely related things. The top post when I joined. It never ends. Oh, dude, I love it. Malcolm in the Middle. How can you not love this show? And this literally is Factorio. We're going to watch this because it's just perfect. So he goes in to fix a light bulb, or a switch, realizes the shelf is loose, realizes the drawer is squeaky, so he's got to fix that. The car now has a problem. So classic. I love this. The moment you realize your lanes are all going the wrong direction. Oh dear. This is when the belt reverser mod would be fantastic. Oh geez, that would be so frustrating. Biter, a Factorio fan story. I'm probably not going to read this. These fan stories are usually pretty interesting. You guys should check this out. I'm not going to read it because it's really long. I'll probably read it, just not on video here. Factorio any percent TAS world first. What is TAS? What does that mean again? 2 hours and 5 minutes. World's first Factorio any percent tool assisted. Okay. Speedrun. Wow, that's impressive. Why does my game keep doing this? Dude, that picture of a phone, or that picture of the screen. Good question. That's an odd error. 43 by 21 low UPS super beacon full blue belt smelt. Blueprint and math in comments. Wow, that is a lot. That's, wow, okay, so they got ore in the middle. They're outputting in there. That's actually, I had never really thought of doing a design like that, honestly. And that outputs a full blue belt, it looks like. It can be cut down to form, but that lowers tileability. Simply move left to... Each smelter is plus 20% productivity, 420% crafting speed 10.4. So you get 2.972 crafts per second, 3.566 per second per furnace, 20 items per second per side. Wow, so this does over a blue belt with just 12 furnaces, right? Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's actually really good. Wow. And that's super compact. A full blue belt for this low space is actually pretty impressive. Looking at old save files, I found this insane setup in my first factory. Interesting. I'm a little confused as to why they didn't just... I mean, it's their first factory, so I don't blame them. But, I mean, you could have just run one belt here and one belt here and just use long and normal inserters like right against the lab, which would have been... It's funny when you're looking at your older factories, which I just did yesterday on stream. It's really funny, the kind of stuff that we thought of when we first started playing and now realize is actually just a terrible idea. So there you go, guys. There's the Reddit. Some pretty cool stuff. I absolutely love this type of thing. Some really interesting designs for sure. A few laughs. And it was good as always. So leave your thoughts down below. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all. Do take care.